Hi guys, welcome back. Another video, another yoga video. So thank you for joining me again. And I hope that you enjoyed the last one. I've got some feedback, so thank you to all who have commented. And looks like Kundalini is pretty popular, and as well as the more stretchy. So I'm trying to make these videos with beginners in mind as well, and because so many people are doing having to do stuff from home. So I don't want to make them too intermediate, but today I thought that we would do some stuff that we haven't done for a while. So follow along as best as you can, and get into something comfy if you're just kind of viewing it and you want to see what it's like first. So please go at your own pace. Take as many breaks as you need to. If you have a favorite variation of child's pose, then go ahead and do that, and just know that you are more than welcome to take breaks. And lots of times we come to our mat, and that is maybe it is actually, for a lot of people, it's hard for them to carve out a space for themselves. So if you are getting good at that, then congratulations. And that's why I love teaching yoga, is because it took me a long time to practice on my own too. I always had to have a teacher. It is fun to turn on some music if you find a sequence that feels good, even if it's only for 5 or 10 minutes. And then sometimes you get so lost from being in your head, you shut that monkey mind down, and it might feel like you're doing that for about half an hour, and then you look at the clock and it's like 10 minutes. But you know what? If it makes you feel better, then that's perfect. So I commend all of you that are brave enough and strong enough to really give yourself that time and put yourself into a different room. The kitchen is the heart of the home, and yoga is really the heart, of you. That's where you, the longer that you've practiced yoga, you come to know that that you live from your heart. And so when you start to feel like there's pressure in your head and you're not breathing properly or whatever, you're not living from your heart. So you've got to, get rid of the junk. So I hope that this practice resonates with you. So to start off, we're gonna always do something a little bit different. So come onto your hands and your knees and have your sit bones pointing up. Make your back as flat as possible and pull that lower belly into the spine. And we're gonna start to move. I'm hoping that it's gonna be kind of a nice stretchy flow. Okay, so while we're doing this, if you want to close your eyes, then go ahead. If you don't, that's fine too. I know, stay in your hands and knees posture. And we're going to start to move the spine around and move the hips around, okay? So if you like the movement of dance, then let your instrument for you. And you're gonna always, the inhale is the masculine, and because you have, you know, the duality in you. And then the exhale is the femininity, so that's the softer. So you move on the inhale and you exhale into the posture and soften, okay? So have your knees hip width apart. And fingers spread wide. Middle fingers pressing into the mat with the index finger and both of them going forward, okay? So just start to move back and forth and feel your spine lengthen as you sit back towards your heels. Just to start getting the body moving. So you're inhaling forward and you're exhaling back. And you might want to even walk your hands a little more forward if that feels good, just to get some more length in the spine. And when you're going forward, really pull that pelvic floor in and up. Good. So now on the inhale, when you're going forward, apologies, I've been playing around with this camera trying to get it positioned. So start to move your hips to the left, okay? So you're inhaling to the left and exhaling forward. And now, see, this is where you can get as flowy as you want. And on this one, on the next breath, you're going to go to the opposite direction. Keeping your awareness on your breath. And just feeling your hips loosen from the base of your spine. Okay, all right, so come back to your tabletop, and we're gonna inhale into cow, exhale into cat, just keeping the emphasis on limbering up the spine, so get as flowy as you want. Just feel your spine move back and forth. Releasing any tension that may be stored in there from whatever you're doing. And then you're going to flip your wrists over. So the wrists and the forearms are facing forward, fingers are still spread wide, and you're going to still go into your cat-cow like this. This is going to start really getting into the glandular system. When your arms are stretched like this and your palms are flat, it's really going to activate the glandular system and the adrenals, rocking out any tension that's still left in the spine, across the shoulders. You feel that core activation as you go into cat. Okay, release from that, spin the wrists around again. We're going to go into spinal balance. Okay, so I should say any stability, you know, if you're not confident in your core strength yet, maybe you don't do very much of it, and you don't know how to activate it, then you can always leave the foot, when it's stretched out, you can leave the toes on the ground. I know you guys can't see my foot, so let's see if I can, I don't know if that's even gonna make a difference here. And, okay. Maybe it did. Okay, yeah, it did. Okay, so right leg is extended, so you can just lengthen your left arm. Okay, so, or you can lift it up. So this is spinal balance. And then you're gonna exhale down, inhale. Let me change this. I don't know. Okay. Maybe. Okay. So right arm up, left leg up, exhale down, inhale opposite leg, exhale down. So keep moving on the breath, inhale up, really lift up that back leg if you are, as much as you can. Stretch out the hip flexor and the psoas muscle, use the glutes to lift that leg up, and really lengthen in opposite directions. Use your breath to move your body. And last one. And now place your hands down, curl your toes under, and come up to your first down dog. And just feel where your body's at today. If your hamstrings are really tight, then you can go ahead and you can separate your feet to the edges of the mat and then press strongly through your hands, push the ground away, and let your head be back in line, a little more backwards actually. Your head is back behind your arms. Feels really good for the thoracic spine. And then leave that hand down, the right hand down, take the left hand and go into your twisting dog, pull yourself towards your thighs. And exhale, back down and switch sides. And place that hand down, take another down dog. And walk your hands back towards your feet. So feet wide still, and then just let your hands wrap around your elbows, pull your elbows towards the earth. Feel your spine elongate. Keep breathing into it. And then take your hands to your ankles. Straighten your legs as much as you can. And then look forward. Slide your hands up to your knees. Make a tabletop. Exhale back down. And just let yourself hang. Another really nice thing to do is to interlock your fingers and bring them to the nape of the neck. Just use that extra weight just to
let your head and your spine elongate more. You can bend your knees generously if you want, or you can have a micro bend in them if your hamstrings are super tight. And then release your hands, and then just walk your hands over to the right. And swing around to the left. Do that a couple more times just to unwind any trapped energy in there, especially like in the the lower back and the hips. Okay, good. Now walk your hands forward. Walk your hands or your feet back into a plank. Okay, so no hips up here and no sagging. Okay, so you're on your toes and your elbows are stacked over your wrists. Pull that lower belly in. If Chaturanga Dandasana is part of your practice, then go ahead and lower yourself down and then come into up dog, or you can come onto your knees and then into up dog or cobra, and then flip your toes over back to down dog. And just lift one heel up at a time. Walk your dog. And then you can inhale the right leg up into a three-legged dog. Bend that knee, let the foot come to the left as you look under your right armpit. Start to unlock the hips here. Lower that foot down and inhale with the left leg up this time. Keep pressing your fingers into the mat. Bend that knee, let the foot flop to the right, look under your left armpit. And then lower that foot back down. And step yourself back into your down dog. And then start to move your feet. You're up on your toes. Your knees are going to bend and you're going to come over to the left. Well, your body's going to go towards the right, but your hips are going to go towards the left. Then back to straight again. Up on the toes, bend and lower your hips down towards the right side. And back to down dog. And then start to walk your feet up to your hands. Let's see how that light goes here. All right, so you're going to inhale, lift your palms up towards the sky, bend down, and then bend your knees so your feet are hip width now, okay? Bend your knees, swoop your hands up into a chair, and then exhale back down, bring your hands back up. So we're going to do that 5 more times. Inhale into chair, lift up, pull the belly in, exhale, forward fold, palms up. Inhale, start to build up some heat in the body. Keep that lower abdominals engaged. Pull them into the navel each time. Great, guys. And last one. And place your hands down. Step back into the down dog. Step back into a plank so you're on your toes again. And we're going to go from up dog, or from down dog to up dog. And and back to down dog and to up dog. Really getting in to making the spine more flexible, using some core strength, stretching out the body. So kind of like you're doing some back bends and forward bends. And don't worry, okay, if you find this is too hard because your upper body and your triceps are weak still, then you can lower down onto your knees and do this, right? So it'd be like this, right? And then back. Okay, lots of times people feel really good that way. You see how my elbows aren't bending? I'm just dropping down. So there's your variation, modification. It's good to incorporate strength. Keep pulling that navel into the spine each time. Squeeze the pelvic floor up. And bend your knees now. Sit yourself back to a child's pose. Lower your head down. Stay connected to your breathing. Deep, deep inhales and deep exhales. And walk your hands over to the right, left hand more forward. Feel that stretch going all the way from the tailbone and the outer hip up into the shoulder. And then walk through center and walk over to the left. Come back forward, come into your puppy pose, keep your hips high. And walk your fingers forward. Knees are hip width, feet are hip width. Keep the hips up, send the torso down, forearms are flat, lower the forehead down. Lift up the forearms and be tented on your fingers if you want to, if it feels really good and you want to get into the shoulders more. If this is too much of a stretch for you, you don't have that flexibility yet, then just stay on your forearms and just sink into the earth. And release from that. Come down onto your forearms. And we're going to do some cat-cow here. Okay, so maybe you're going to walk your hands up or your knees up a little bit. And arch your spine as you look forward. Exhale and round. Feel that immediate activation of the lower abdominals as you round into your cat. Great, stay on your forearms now. Step your feet back so you're into a forearm plank. So protract the shoulders and keep pressing out of the elbows and pull that lower belly into the spine. So the leg muscles are nice and tight, kneecaps are pulled up into the thighs. And see, like, you're pressing out of the elbows, so you can Lift your fingers up. Your core is doing the work. And then start to tap the right knee down, back to plank, left knee down, back to plank. Okay, so we're going to do 5 on each side. Drop both knees down and sit back to a child's pose. Stretch out that back again. And then you lift your forehead up. Okay, so take your right leg, bring it out to the side. Have it in line with that left knee. So not way up here, okay? So just take a second and have a look. Maybe walk that left knee over to the left. Curl those toes under, sit back to that heel. Stretch out the foot. Stretch out the inner thigh on the right side. And come back up. You're going to take that right foot, bring it behind you to the left. Look towards it. Great, bring that back. Come back up to a down dog, stretch back. And then you're gonna lift that right leg back up. And you're gonna come into pigeon. All right, so remember your modification. If you have knee issues, please don't do this into the full expression. You can do reclining pigeon, or you can bring that back knee to meet the right foot, okay? And you can sit like this. That's plenty for a lot of people. If you can come into the full expression, then great. Okay, so take your hands, one hand to the ankle, one hand to the knee. Stretch that left hip flexor, sorry. So send your torso back, and then maybe you can lift your arms up and come into a little bit of a back bend. If it feels good, you can bring your hands back behind your back, open up the front of that chest, send the interlocked fingers back towards the back of the leg. Release your hands back up again. Bring your hands into Namaskara. So really using the core. And then please come down. So you're leaning into that left leg. If your left leg is in full extension, then lean into that left hip. So you're not hanging out on the side of the butt there, okay? You're stretching that out. And you can come all the way down if that's comfortable. And that holding too long, so come back up. Bring that foot in towards the groin, knee pointing forward. Grab onto that back leg. Pull that leg in towards your butt. Maybe you can lift up that arm. Use your core. Release that down. You're gonna curl the toes under. Press it into the hands. Lift that knee up. Step that foot back. Back into your down dog. Lift up that left leg now. Look forward. Bend that left knee. Slide that right leg back. Each hip is going to feel different every day. So, get comfortable. Maybe you can go into full extension on one side and you can't on the other side. That's all right. Okay, so one hand on the ankle, one hand on the knee. Push your torso back. Really stretch out through the psoas and the hip flexor. And then lift your arms up. A little bit of a back bend. If you can't do it, don't worry. Lots of people can't. And then bring your arms behind you. Interlock your fingers. Open up the front of the chest. Open up your thyroid. Release that. Stretch up again. Bring your hands into Namaskara. And settle yourself back down. You can even do a little twist if you want. And walk your hands over to the left. And come back through the right. Really getting a nice glute stretch here. Right from the bottom of the glute all the way on up the top on the side here. And getting into the IT band too. And bring that foot in. Okay, so hips are going forward. Bend that back leg. You might only be able to be right here, that's okay. Pull that foot in, stretch out the front of the thigh. Maybe you can get a stretch going through the side of the left body here. Feeling it across the shoulders as well. And then release that foot down. Plant your hands. Curl your toes under. Lift that knee up. Step both feet back. Back into your down dog. And come into cow. Push back to down dog. So combining strength into flexibility here. Unlocking the spine. Your nervous system really responds to rhythm. So find a nice flow. So you can go as slow or as quickly as possible. Make it a little more flowy this time, okay? So really curve your spine. Maybe rock your hips out from side to side. Keep engaging the lower abdominals here. Keep that nice and tight. And lift yourself back up. Torso towards the knees, up on the toes. And just go back and forth on your toes here. And lower your knees down into your cow. around, open up in between the shoulder blades. And circle yourself around. Make little small movements with your hips, going back and forth. You're still on your toes. And back up to your down dog. So have your feet hip width, maybe a little narrower. Sit back, okay? Bring your hands into Namaskara. Pull the lower abdominals in for strength. Twist over to the right with your left elbow. And use your core as we move back through center. Look forward, twist over to the left. Get any pockets of poison out, detoxify. Nice massage for the colon, digestive system, all the organs, especially your lungs as well. Back through center. And a core workout, of course. And a thigh workout. Maybe your thighs are burning already. And last time to the right. Keep the left elbow on the right knee. Sit your hips down, stretch your right arm up. Bring that behind your back. Into a little bit of a half bind. Lift that back up. Bring your hands back to prayer. Twist over to the left. Stretch that left hand up. Half bind behind your back. Back straight up again. Back into prayer. Stretch and stand all the way up. Now, bring a step forward and right knee is going to be bent. Tighten up the left thigh. And you're on your toes. And then you're going to bring your arms up. Palms facing each other. Pull the lower belly in. So you're in a crescent. Hold. Stay connected to your breathing. Bring your arms out in a T. And then you're going to lower your hands down. Frame that foot with both hands. Lift up that left leg as high as you can. And then lower those toes down. And place that left hand down. Right knee bends. Stretch the right hand up. So you're going to feel that right on the side of the hip. And then bring that hand down. Great. Okay, a little down dog here. Step that left foot up. So slide the right toes back. And then lift your arms up. Pull the lower belly in. Keep the back leg nice and tight. Into your crescent again. And then go ahead, lower that hand, both hands down. And you're in a standing split, so lift up that right leg now. And then lower the right foot. Place the right hand in line with the left leg while your left knee is bent. Stretch that right hand up. Keep the kneecap pulled into the thigh. Lower that hand down. Step back into your down dog. Step your feet back so you're on your toes. Come into plank. Pull the lower belly in. Sorry, my hips were up. That is not plank. Okay, so you can lower your knees down and hug your elbows in and do knees, chest, and chin into cobra or seal. And then back to child's pose. And come and sit down on your butt. Okay, so left knee is folded, right leg's extended, toes are pointing up. And then slide that right hand down your right leg, lift the left hand up and over. Doesn't matter how flexible you are, just really feel that stretch coming all the way onto the left side. And then place the left hand down, maybe you can come onto the forearms and stretch over to the left side. And come back up and keep the toes pointing up and come into a forward fold. And walk your hands back. And you're gonna switch sides. So right knee is folded, left leg is out. Slide that left hand down the left leg, stretch the right hand up and over. And nice side body stretch here, really nice on the hip too. And then come back over to the right, stretch over the right. Keep the toes pointing up. And keep that foot out and do another forward fold. And walk yourself back up. You're gonna come back onto your hands and knees. We're gonna do that other stretch here. So you're gonna take your left leg or your right leg back. Sorry, we're gonna do opposite sides. Take the left foot out. Remember, so you're gonna line that up with the knee. Curl the right toes under, sit back. Stretch out the inner thigh on this side again. And come back out of that. And you can unflip those toes in the back if you want. Take that left leg over to the right. Look towards that foot. And come back to your tabletop again. And now we're going to move the spine a little bit more, but we're also going to use the core, okay? So you're going to inhale and pull the right knee into the forehead or the nose. Exhale down. Inhale to the left. Exhale down. so make those circles and get into the lymphatics in the groin. So nice and gentle. Just make some circles going from side to side, sitting your hips back as much as you can, or as much as feels good for you. And then switch direction. It's like a little spinal hip dance. Okay. Bring your knees in together. Curl your toes under. And you're going to keep your knees together and lift up. So your toes and your knees are together. Back to a down dog. See, this feels different now. Squeeze the knees and the inner thighs together. Lower back down to a cow. And back up to a down dog. Back down to a cow. Little inner thigh core workout with a spine stretch. Back to a cow. Feels really good. Inhale forward and exhale back. Inhale, squeeze and arch your spine. Exhale back to down dog. One more. Inhale. Nice and flowy. Exhale. Back to down dog. And come down onto your knees and your butt. And come down onto your back. So we're gonna windshield wiper to get rid of any tension in the hips. So feet are hip width. And you're just gonna let one knee come into the center line and alternate back and forth. Really stretch out the hip flexors here. Shake out any tension from the hips. Sometimes this feels really tight for the first, 5 or 10. And then it pretty much feels like it's gone until you go into another variation. The hips hold so much tension. All right, so lift up your legs, press your lower back into the mat so your spine is nice and straight. Your feet are up at 90 degrees. And you can point and flex. Keep pushing that lower back into the floor. Tailbone is flat, so you're not up here. That tailbone has to stay down. And then just go ahead and do your upside down splits. And bring them back in. Keep that lower back still pressing into the mat. And stretch out. Really, if you were to take your hand, well, you should actually, place it right down, right above the pubic bone, underneath the space in between, right underneath the belly button and the pubic bone. So keep your hand there, and then pull your feet apart and feel all those muscles, especially when you're going to lift up, okay? So push that lower back into the mat, Keep your hand right there and feel that is your power. That's the part that lifts your feet up and into all the variations of different postures that we do. So that's why I'm always going on about pull the lower abdomen in. So if you're new to that and you didn't feel that activation, it might be really eye-opening, or you might already know, because I make you guys do this all the time. Okay, so feet out wide, both hands down to that space now, and push the lower back into the floor and go as slow as you can, lifting those legs back up. So you can feel all those muscles. What does it feel like when you bring your feet out wide? Not as much of a core activation, right? Until you actually have to, remember, the inhale is the masculine part, right? So, and the exhale, you're softening. And you can feel that softening. So inhale back up. Okay, pull your knees into your chest. Hug them into your chest as tight as you can. Maybe you can wrap, don't worry if you can't do this, but wrap your elbows around your knees. Gentle compression of all of the organs. Gets rid of any poisonous gases that are stored in there. And then inhale, lift your head up to your knees, curl into a little ball. And exhale, relax down. Head flat, neck flat, as much as possible. Feel the tailbone onto the mat. Lengthen your spine. And so take that right knee and place it, or right foot, sorry, and place it on the outside of the left knee. And then maybe you can just rock over so that foot is now flat but it's still engaged. And see what that feels like. Pull that knee over to the left. Look towards your right hand. And come back up and hug. Wrap your right hand in between both legs and pull that left knee into the chest. So you're in reclining pigeon. Just hold it for a sec. We already did pigeon. But it is nice to just get another little stretch in here. Okay, and then place that right foot down on the ground. Bend that left knee, foot onto the outside of the right knee. And then left foot comes over to the right. Stretch the left hand out and look towards it. Another variation of twist here. And then come back up. Reach your right hand through, or left hand through. Grab a hold of the shin on the right leg and pull that thigh in towards your chest. And then release that. Okay, so rock yourself up. We're going to finish off. Come into Sukhasana, or you can sit on a chair, or you can prop yourself up against a wall. Whatever feels comfortable and the best for you. And please go into Savasana after and lay flat on your back and palms up by your side and feet kicked out, or do a nice starfish. But we're going to really, what you're going to do is you're going to take your left thumb, this is pranayama, and this is great. What it does, really, energetically, is you're going to only breathe through the right nostril, and you're going to use your left thumb and place it on to your left nostril, fingers pointing up. That's all you do. So you can sit however is comfortable. And you're going to do long, slow breathing with your mouth closed through the right nostril. So energetically, what it does is it actually opens up the neural pathways and balances out the left and the right hemisphere of the brain. But it's great to do. You'll see the results. Please do this. We're not going to do this for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, although it's perfectly fine to do that. But you'll see how you feel after you finished it. It is really great for reducing anxiety as well. So if you have moments in the day where you start to feel tense or you feel anxious, do this. Okay, so you're going to place your left thumb on your left nostril, block that off, and you're going to only inhale and exhale through the right side. Okay, so inhale. Exhale. And release your hand. Bring your hands down to your thighs, your knees. Continue with some breathing here. Feel that energetic buzz going through your body right now. So just use your breath to move it through. Biggest inhale ever. And exhale. Inhale, open up your eyes. So you should feel very calm right now. My gift to you. So thanks again for practicing with me and for taking the time to be with me right now as I'm trying to be there for you and give you the space that you need in your house. No need to compete with yourself or anyone else. Doesn't matter what you're wearing. It doesn't matter what you smell like. So anyway, I hope that you feel great, and I hope you have a very peaceful day and very calm, and you have a bigger space to live in. So from my heart to yours, Namaste. I'll see you again.